back again. Much cooler day today than yesterday. In fact, yesterday's high humidity caused me to have a asthma attack, so I had to switch off the video I was doing previously very quickly. That rotten, horrible cough got a hold of me. Anyway, so far what we've done is the 3 primary colours, which is your mistake here. Anyway, your red, your blue and your yellow to start on our skin tones. I don't know whether you can actually see her there. Might have to bring her in closer. Anyway, that's where we are at. Now, before I continue with skin tones, I'm going to mix up some paint to use for my, sorry, I'm getting a mental block here, creases. Yes, creases. The 2 colours that I've selected this time is burnt sienna and burgundy. Okay, I don't know if you can see those there. And I'm going to mix in here. I normally do it in a palette, but in the palette for some reason I find that it becomes too concentrated. So I'm just going to try it here. Now we'll just get these mixed up first, and then we'll cover some bases. So there's a dollop of the burgundy. You can adjust the colour as you wish. And you've got burnt sienna here, which is like a brown, I suppose. Now I've just put a little dollop of that one there. I'm a type of artist that doesn't like and I've made these mistakes in the past, that's how I know I don't like them, is the creases to be too dark. It makes the baby look dirty for some reason, and yeah, I don't want that. So we're going to put some medium flow in there. About that much I think would do. And we're going to put in some stroke and blend medium. This may be a new bottle that needs to be opened. Have I got an open one? There's a retarder. No, I don't think I have. Sometimes they have a little, there you go, they have a little seal on the inside. You want to take that off. Well, obviously you won't get anything to pour out of it otherwise. So you just add a little bit of that. No, there's no measuring with me. I'm just going to get a little bit of water, distilled water. If we need more, I can always add more. Oh, I forgot my brush in the water from yesterday. That's clever. So we'll give this a good mix, and hopefully it'll give me the colour I'm looking for. Burgundy's starting to look like a dark pink, I suppose, purpley pink, which is basically the colour I want. But yeah, if I want it darker, I will put more of the burnt sienna in there. Now we'll see how translucent it is too, otherwise I have to add some more water. I don't do all veins. I find that it's overkill. So the very, very fine ones on hands and feet, usually, I avoid. I just leave them. I'll do the main ones, like in other words, the deeper ones. The translucency's good. So I may just try it as is. What I will need is, we don't need this one anymore, another sponge, cosmetic sponge, just to blot it out if it becomes too intense. So I'm going to get a nice round brush, if I can find one. This one might do. So it's Don't know whether you can see that. Maybe if I put a white background on the back, you might be able to see it better. So it's a little round brush, and it is a 00. Okay, I'll start with the face, and I'm going to take a little bit of this paint, take the excess off, and I'm just going to, just do the little creases, and they should look like they're just shaded, and that's perfect. It's exactly the colour I wanted. I don't know if you can see the one that's done and the one that's not done. So go ahead and do the next one. That's a little bit more than I wanted there, but that's not a problem. Whilst it's wet, you can still correct that. Actually, I may get a slightly different brush and just go over it, just to blend it in. There you go, that looks much better. So, just a little square one, and that's where we're at. Now, I've got blue on her eyelids from before, but I'm going to go over it with the burgundy as well. Well, burgundy mix, just for a little bit more definition. So, you can see that there? And I'll do the same on the other side. And just there. Well, actually, it looks a little bit more blue than the other one, so let's add a little bit more. Alright, so that's it. That's there. The other place I'm going to use this is very carefully inside the nostrils. So I just basically just dot it and let the paint run down off the brush. And that's it. Now if you get a little bit on the outside, wipe it off. Just make sure that both nostrils look the same. I might need just a fraction there. Okay. That's the nostrils done. The other place is around the nostril, and that's an area where you don't need it very, very thick either. That one was a bit thick for my liking. I'm going to take some paint off the brush and redo it. Actually, I just saw another boo-boo here, and you will find boo-boos as you come along. I use these. They're actually makeup applicators, but really, really good for reborning as well. So just a shadow, that's all we're looking for with the creases. So that's one nostril done, and we'll just do the other one. Got enough paint, I think, on this brush for that. There you go. That's both nostrils done. I'll put a little bit on the Angel's Touch, which is just above the top lip, but not a lot. That's the Angel's Touch. And she's got, because she's smiling, she's got just like creases to her little cheeks. And I'm ever so lightly putting some paint on. As you can see, I have not dipped it back into the paint, so it is extremely light. You see, it's so vague you can't hardly see it. And then she's got I did put it in the paint this time, she's got a crease that is just here underneath her chin, and that's the extent of the darkening that we do, or the crease. Oh, were you going for a walk? Now, because she's an open mouth smiler, or lava, whatever you call it. I'm going to use this darker colour to do the gums and the tongue. So for that, I'm going to take the one I was using to blend in. No, I'm not, because I still need it for blending. I'm going to take another brush. Say one of these would be fine. No, I don't think it's got measurements on it. It's one of these other cheaper type brushes. Okay, so I'll start with way down the back of her throat and just bring it up. You may need more than one coat on this part, but you know, take your time and you'll soon see. So that's with one coat. And I'm going to do another coat. Right at the back first, then the gums, and then the tongue. And you can always come back to this once this layer second layer has dried. Once you've done, I just wiped it off. Once you've done the other creases, and if you feel that this could do with a bit more, you can do it then. So that's with 2 layers. Just looking to see if there's any creases I missed. There's a little one here on the neck. Will do. Another one just under the neck. And another one just there and just there. Now, I have changed my methods of when to paint what. So I used to do a lot more mottling, and with the newborns I probably would still. I used to do the creases and other detailing like that way after all the skin tones were completed. I don't do that anymore. I do it now, sort of thing. And I just experiment along the way. Now here in the deep part of the ear, I'm going to put some of this paint in there to give it the depth. I'll get my other brush just to blend it a little bit. Okay, that's good enough for me. And here, indicating depth again. And here we go. One of the subjects I wanted to touch upon, there we go. I'll finish doing the ears first and then we'll touch upon it. There's another one here that's a little dent there. It should be dark. And the other side would be the same. Though I find when I'm sculpting, a most difficult time trying to get both ears to be the same. I don't know what it is that I do or don't do, and it never seems to work for me. Just doing the outer ear, just for depth again. And the same over this side. And that will dry in no time. Okay, so we've done with the head. Now, whilst I'm doing her leg, or whatever other part I'm going to do, I'm going to let the inner mouth dry and then go back to it. And see the shine? Don't worry about the shine. We're going to get rid of that. I don't know, maybe she was... I think this shows me that she was squashed. Now, either in transit or in my packing, which I'm not happy about. Anyway, we can fix that later. I was going to say, I'll touch upon while I'm doing this, art is art. And art is the interpretation of the particular artist, okay? So, you may not do the same, rather, artists don't always do the same. They get their own results with their own techniques, and when you feel confident enough to try different techniques, you'll probably develop your own. And there's no wrong and right in art, okay? So it's, how can I say it? Beauty in the eye of the beholder. So that's the best description I can find. And certainly you will get criticised. I got criticised too many times. But instead of taking it personally and getting all upset about it, what I did, and I suggest that you do the same, is I took it on board. I thought, right, okay, so this buyer criticised this or that about my work, or whatever, packing, box opening, whatever. And I'm not going to sit here and get all offended by it. I would, even if I am offended, that's going to take second place to what I'm going to do, which is I took it on board. So the next time that I did a box opening or I did a baby, I avoided doing what she had a negative comment about. And you know what? It does actually help you. You can get some positivity out of negativity, and use it to your advantage. And that's what I do. I just thought, well, what can I gain by this? I mean, it's constructive criticism. Now, when it's not constructive criticism and it's just out to hurt you, you can tell the difference. Well, one, if it's just plain nasty, you will... Where's my blending brush? I'm going to have to put you on pause, guys, and come back, because I think I'm going to have another coughing fit.